Hey sketchy friends, so in today's video I want to share with you my current urban sketching supplies for 2025. I know we're halfway through 2025 already, but this stuff kind of hasn't changed for me for a long time now, especially some of the elements I'm going to show you I have been using forever. So I really hope you enjoy this video. I'll do my best to list everything in the description below with the links so that you can check out this stuff as well. And I'm gonna get cracking. I hope this doesn't run on too long, but like any good art supplies addict, I could probably talk about art supplies for quite a long time. So let's get started. So I carry everything around with me in this little pouch that I found in a flea market, or sorry, a market in Buenos Aires in Argentina. And I bought, they were two for a certain price. So my friend with me got one and I got this one. I was using something different, but I quite like just the ease of just chucking everything in this pouch, and it helps me to try and remain somewhat minimalist as far as I can do. So mechanical pencil, this is just one that I got given in a goodie bag, but I quite like this one, Faber-Castell. That's the only pencil that I carry around with me, just to mark out some basic shapes. And then pens, let's move on to pens. So my favorite thing at the moment is this Hongdian Fude fountain pen. I have other Fudes, but well, I have one other, the green sailor one that a lot of people use. I don't really get on with that one. It doesn't work very well for me, but I really like this one. So I did actually just get this off of Amazon. I think it's about £25, something like that. $30 US perhaps, something around that mark. Really nice metal. It comes with the converter as well, so you don't have to buy that separately, which is quite nice. And then I just fill that up with my favorite ink. I haven't really tried any others, if I'm honest, because this one works. A lot of people use this one, and it does the job. So this is the Platinum Carbon ink, and it's black and it's permanent and it does a nice job. So that's the one I use. Again, I hate to keep mentioning Amazon, but you can easily get it off of Amazon. I just say it just because a lot of people in a lot of countries have Amazon. We now have it here in South Africa, but it's really rubbish. There's like nothing on it. So I obviously always recommend, if you can buy from more of an independent local art store or something like that, please do that. Okay, so that was the Fude fountain pen. Now this little fella is a Platinum, so it's the same brand as this ink, Platinum. It's a Platinum Preppy pen, fountain pen. This is super, super cheap. So here in South Africa, it's under 100 Rand, which is approximately 5 British pounds, which is approximately probably like 7, 8 US dollars. Amazing. So very nice light because it's made out of plastic. The converter is sold separately. Oh, sorry, this has actually got an ink cartridge in. That's the great thing about these actually, is they actually fit the carbon ink cartridges as well. So that's quite handy for travel and stuff, so that you don't have to carry the jar around with you, which I do sometimes. Other people decant it into plastic things. I just don't have anything at the moment that will fit that. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, this, I do also have the converter for this, which is sold separately and actually costs more than the pen. But these are great fountain pens. They're so nice. Just a bog standard fountain pen. Great to draw with though. I really, really like it. And I've got many, many other friends who highly recommend. So if you want to get started with sketching with a fountain pen, I do recommend this as a very cheap entrance point. I do carry those fountain pens, but I also carry fine liners as well, just in case the fountain pens run out of ink. Sometimes they misbehave on planes, that kind of thing. So it's always nice to have backup. I generally have a 0.3 and a 0.5. I think this is actually a 0.4 and a 0.5, but generally a 0.3 and a 0.5 can cover some nice bases. So as we're discussing art supplies today, it's all very well having art supplies, but what's even better is learning how to use them properly. And therefore, I would love for you guys to go and check out Artists Academy. Thanks very much to Artists Academy for sponsoring this video today. Artist Academy is your #1 platform for learning to draw and paint. They've got all kinds of videos and courses on all kinds of drawing and painting skills and techniques and different subject matters. For instance, they have these videos here. Which materials do you want to use? What do the different numbers on the pencils mean? Things on cleaning your palette. And obviously there's stuff here about oil painting as well, which I'm sure some of you do. There's things on just drawing, using watercolor, acrylics, that kind of thing. So you'll find a number of different videos here. For example, this video, Katie is talking about her plein air kit. Another great instructor on this platform is Stuart Luffridge. Here he's talking about packing for a sketching trip, building sketch kits here. There's just such a number of amazing videos on this platform for you to check out. Another one of my favorite instructors on this platform is Paul Heaston. He's a very well-known urban sketcher. He's got videos such as capturing your space with pen and ink, choosing and using sketchbooks, which might be a useful one for those of you watching this video, composing drawings while on location, sketching the everyday, and so on and so forth. There's just so many great videos and courses to delve into here. The content here will definitely keep you busy for a very long time. And on that matter, the first 1,000 people that click my very special link in the description below will get a full 12 months of access to Artist Academy for just $1.49, which is an absolutely mind-blowing offer. It is available only to new members, so do check this out. Do click the link below and go and check out Artist Academy. But for $1.49, you really can't go wrong. These are the things that have not really changed in years. So I do carry around one of these water brushes, Pentel water brush. It's just really handy for sketching on the go, sketching in confined spaces, adding watercolor very quickly. So I do think these are extremely useful, and they're not that expensive, so it's just nice to chuck one in the bag. This is my favorite and main watercolor brush. It is an Escoda Reserva number 10, and I got a set of them, a number 2 and this one's a bit dirty, sorry. Number 2 and number 6 and a number 10. I never used the 2 and the 6. I only ever use this 10, and I love it. But I know these brushes have got really like even more expensive than when I first bought them, like almost double the price. So this is a natural hairbrush, but they do have lots of synthetic ones as well, which I have not tried, but I know a lot of people really love, and they are a bit more of a civilized price point. But yeah, I've got this now, and I use it literally every day, and I've had it for almost 10 years. So it's money well spent, really. This one is a Rosemary & Co. dagger brush, which is my second paintbrush that I use. So as you can see, there's a nice pointy end. Is great just for getting into those little areas of detail. So the big brush combined with this one with the nice point, then you can see that gives you everything you need, really. As you can see, this one, the paint is flaking around. I've also had this for quite a long time, and I use it every single day as well, or every single sketch, should I say. I like how if I move this way, I've got like devil horns. So those are my two brushes, although I will say a company called Fumu has sent me these brushes, Fumui. Their name's there, F-U-U-M-U-U-I. So Chinese company, and they sent me these brushes, which are natural hair. Apparently they are sable, but like not Kolinsky sable, because they do retail for, I think, also like $25 US. But they've just got a really nice selection of brushes in here, brush sizes. And the one that I'm particularly a fan of, let's see here. And I like this travel brush configuration because basically all of my sketching is done on location. So this like works for me. It means that my brushes stay nice. I really like this edition of this small square brush. So this is really cool. I also like how these screw on and off as well. I think that's really a really good touch. So yeah, really nice selection of brush sizes there. You've got kind of your bigger round one, a small round one, the dagger and the square. I think that's a really clever mixture of brush types. So if you're interested in these brushes, I will put the link below, and they have actually extended a 10% discount for my subscribers. So there is a discount code below as well. I've been using them a little bit, and yeah, I really like them. Occasionally a hair comes out of them, which I think is to be expected from slightly cheaper brushes. But to get these 4 brushes for $25, you know, as opposed to this, I don't even know how much this costs right now. Just this one brush by itself could be like $200. I'm really not sure. I know the price has gone up exponentially since I bought them in 2016. But yeah, so I think for starting out and for travel sketching and nice travel brushes, nice little wallet, $25. It's like pretty good price, I think. And they're decent brushes. They do the job. But anyway, so yeah, so those are the 3 that I carry around with me anyway. The number 10 Escoda Reserva, the 1/4" dagger brush, and the Pentel water brush there. Moving on, a lot of you, if you've seen any of my videos before, especially over time, you know that I like using grey markers in conjunction with watercolour, specifically these Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens. They just layer over watercolor really nicely. They're not water soluble, but they have a nice translucency to them, so they really work with watercolor really nice. I've just got various shades of grey there, and they are the brush ones, so the ones with the B. There are soft brushes as well, which I'm not so keen on, which have SB. These are the brush ones with B on them. But I have been trying out Tombow markers because I know a lot of urban sketchers like to use those, such as Ian Fennelly, Oliver Holler, for example. These are water soluble, so if you do add water or watercolor on top of them, they are going to shift. But as long as you know that, you can use that to your benefit. So I do play around with these. I've only got 3 shades. The other 2 are a tad too light to really do anything meaningful for me, but I do like this one. However, I can't tell you what it is because it has rubbed off. I think it might be an N95, but do not hold me to that. But anyway, it's always good to try new tools. And then moving on to these other 3 things. So a black brush pen. I've again had this probably since 2014, the same brush pen. What's great about it is it's refillable, so you just buy the ink cartridges. Oh, this one's almost empty. I better replace that. It takes a lot, they're big ink cartridges. It takes a long time to get through them. And the brush nib is just so nice. It's nylon and it's very soft, so it actually feels like a brush. So this is a Pentel pocket brush, usually sold with 2 ink cartridges that come with it, very widely available to buy anywhere. And then the quest for the perfect white pen is an ongoing one. But at the moment, I'm really enjoying these 2 pens specifically. So we've got the Uni Ball Signo and Broad. I like to have the broad one. The fine ones seem to clog up too much. So look for the broad. This works reasonably well. And a tip I got from Pat Southern Pierce watching one of her interviews is if it doesn't work, if it stops working, just draw on your hand to get it going again, and then off you go. So I quite like that gel pen at the moment. And then this is great. I love this Pentel Correct Express correction pen. A bit unwieldy and much fatter lines, but very, very bold. So really enjoying using this one. I haven't tried any other ones yet, but there's lots and lots of correction pens out in the market, obviously. Kneadable eraser I do have just in case, because I do like to get basic shapes down with pencil. I do find these don't erase quite as well as like hard white plastic ones, but they don't damage the surface of the paper too much. And this one comes in a handy little plastic case. Some of them don't, and then they kind of get like pencil shavings or like just they pick up stuff, and then you go to use them on your paper and it drags it across the paper. But this one is nice by Lyra because it comes with its own little container. A spray bottle. This is actually a Clinique, some kind of spray from Clinique. This is how old this is. This would have been my mum's because she loves Clinique stuff. So yeah, and I've used this forever. So this is probably like 15 years old. I think I've only almost lost it once, and then I found it again. So I'm quite happy that this is still kicking around. I haven't lost it permanently yet. My friend Lauren gave me this. She works as a nurse, so I guess this is like some kind of fluid collection sample pot. She assured me that it was clean, but no, it's really handy to carry water around, because obviously, as long as you do it up properly, I've had a few mistakes with this. As long as you do it up properly, they're completely watertight, and it's just a great way to carry a small amount of water around with you. I just use this like cheap flannel thing as my paint rag. So I've had this for quite a long time now. As you can see, I think it was like a pale grey when it started. I'm not sure. It just saves on using paper towel or anything like that. Then I think, shall we move on to watercolors? So, oops. I'm enjoying having fun with different watercolor tins at the moment. So this one it belonged to my father-in-law. I never got to meet him. He died before I started seeing my boyfriend. But we now own his parents' old house, and we were clearing out the garage, and this old cigarette tin, which you can find quite a lot of them here in South Africa. And he obviously kept his window bolts in them because, you know, everyone needs a container for window bolts. But it's just really nice because it's just kind of something that belonged to him that I can now turn into a watercolor set. And it's like really precious to me. It just feels like a little bit of a connection, like a sentimental thing. So these are predominantly Rosa Gallery watercolors, which I'm really enjoying. I highly recommend. They're a fantastic price. You can buy them from Jackson's Art, who I think service the UK, the US, and I think Australia, if I'm not wrong in saying, or good old Amazon. And then this is a vintage cigarette case that I found at a flea market in Buenos Aires, actually the same market as the pouch that I showed you earlier, and I just fell in love with it, and I brought it home just hoping that it would be deep enough to fit these watercolor pans in, and it was absolutely perfect. And one of my husband's clients, Wraps Vehicles, they put this white vinyl sticker in here for me to use as a mixing area, and it just works really nice. And these are Roman Smile colors here. So some of them are from the Urban Sketches set that he's got, which is the new set that's out. And then some of them are some colors that I've selected. So, and it's just a really beautiful set. So you can have some fun with your watercolors and making your own sets in different tins and stuff like this. I do have a video on creating this one, which is quite amusing because I definitely didn't do it in a perfect tutorial way like some people do tutorials, but it was just me like, this is raw, this is just me trying to make a watercolor set. So hopefully it is useful for you. And then let's quickly move on to sketchbooks, and then I think that's us wrapped up. So I don't have a particularly favorite sketchbook that I use. I just tend to, and over the years have bought a few different sketchbooks. And as such, I almost have like a queue on my shelf of different sketchbooks that I've bought. So I just move randomly from one to another. I like to use quite special ones if I'm going on a big trip. So when I went to Australia, I happened to have this beautiful handmade Koval sketchbook. I do have a YouTube video tour of that one, which I'll link up in the corner, that you guys can check out. So that was a beautiful sketchbook. So yeah, I've got no rhyme and reason, to be honest. At the moment, I'm using this Hahnemühle one. I'm a big fan of these sketchbooks because I've used a few A5 portrait ones in the past. This is an A4 landscape, which is quite large to travel with, but it is really fun to travel with. And I think for any of you who've seen my sketchbook tour on Buenos Aires, I showed you some of these sketches because I took the concertina book, the accordion book, but I also did take this larger book. So it's great for these big sketches of like architecture and stuff. But if you're trying to just sketch at a cafe or, you know, like on a plane or something like that, obviously this would be really difficult to get out. So it just depends on what you like to sketch. Sometimes on a lot of trips, I do end up taking two sketchbooks because I just can't like pick between them. I really like these Hahnemühle ones, but I'm not sure. I think they might be discontinuing them because they now have their 100% cotton ones. These are just cellulose or whatever it is that they put in just these normal paper ones. But it's a shame. It's the right combination of good enough paper to draw and put watercolor on, but I don't feel like crazy precious about it. So yeah, I really like these books, but again, I do think they are going to discontinue them, which is a shame. I have not tried their 100% cotton ones yet though, but I'm sure they're awesome. Just a little bit more expensive though, obviously. And then my friend Bernard makes sketchbooks. You would have heard me mention Bernard's books before. So he makes sketchbooks, and I've just started this one. This has got Potentate paper, which is a Chinese brand that we can get nice and cheap here, but is 100% cotton. And I really love it. I've only just started, and this is coming up soon, guys. If you haven't seen this, this is coming up soon. 7-day Urban Sketching at Home Challenge. So do look out for that. But yeah, so it's really nice. And then this is shui shui, which is like a South African fabric on the front. So that's nice. But just to show you that I do have a random collection that's waiting for me to use. So this is a Stillman & Byrne Gamma series. I've never used the Gamma series before. I've used Alpha, Beta, Epsilon, etc. And then I've used this one before. This is the Alpha, the square one. I've used that in New Zealand before, so I do have a YouTube video on that as well. Quite enjoyed that. So that's in the queue. And then I have this really nice, The Perfect Sketchbook. I mean, literally, psychologically, how much more can you put someone off from using the sketchbook by calling it The Perfect Sketchbook? This is still in its plastic. I've had it for quite a long time now, and I still haven't used it, so let's see what happens there. But that's just to prove my point that I just really have quite a random selection of sketchbooks, and I don't really have anything that's an absolute standout favourite that I have to keep getting over and over again. Yeah, so my advice to you would just be to try different sketchbooks or different, even loose sheets, just to see if you'd want a full sketchbook from that brand or that paper type. Sorry, I can't be more specific on that, but also there's just more and more sketchbooks coming out all of the time. There's some more interesting ones on Jackson's. The name escapes me. I'll put it up on the screen, that look really, really interesting as well, that have sustainability at their heart. So I've got my eye on those. I am going over to the UK pretty soon. If you haven't seen my one-day workshops that I'm offering, please do check those out in the link below. I am visiting Oxford, Bath, London, Nottingham, Bradford. So if you want to come and spend the day with me doing an urban sketching workshop, do check those out. They're sort of very end of July, but mostly in August. I also do have a Sketching the Winelands trip, which is almost full. So if you are interested in coming to Cape Town and the winelands of South Africa, then check that out very quickly, because I think that's pretty much almost, it's going to be fully booked. But yeah, aside from that, always check out, you know, I've got things coming up for the next year as well. I'll always let you guys know. Do join my newsletter below, because that's the best way to keep in touch. And do check out my Instagram profile as well, Tarias_sketchy_adventures. And if you want to learn how to get started with ink and watercolor sketching, then check out my online course, sketchyouradventures.com. And thanks very much for watching this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.